What's going on everyone, Rich Lee here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the future of Spurs. Now, if you're new to my Future Of series, what I do here is I sim forward 5 years into the future. I don't use player training whatsoever for the purposes of this video, so the player growth is all natural. I do of course sign and sell players throughout the 5 seasons, so there'll be a few new faces in the squad, and yeah, if you enjoy career mode content, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not doing so already, and if you do go on to enjoy this video, please do drop the video a like, as that really would mean a lot to me. And one final thing, there's a poll in the top right hand corner of your screen, and you can vote for the next team that I do in this series. Anyway though, let's take a look at the future of Spurs, and let's see what they've been able to accomplish in 5 seasons of simulation. First of all then, we've got our number 1 goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. He's still 88 rated at the age of 34, 53 appearances in this 5th and final season, 6.7 average rating, and sadly his kicking has gone down by 7. It wasn't great to begin with, and now it's got even worse. As I said before though, he's still an 88 rating, and some of his stats look very good. Jordan Pickford is 84 rated at the age of 27, has potential of 86, so wasn't quite able to reach that, but does have 95 reactions, 99 kicking, and looks like a very solid backup keeper. Kyle Walker is sadly now on the decline, and he's down to an 83 rating. Trippier is on the decline as well, he's down to a 78. Toby Alderweireld is 86 rated at the age of 32, still holding firm, and looks like a very good player. Lindelof has potential of 86, he got up to an 85, looks like a very good player, some smashing physical stats, very nice technicals as well, made 17 appearances, got a 6.7 average, and yeah, looks like a very good centre back. Kevin Wimmer is 84 rated at the age of 28, that's his full potential, 6.8 average from 21 appearances, and looks pretty decent. Ricardo Rodriguez has potential of 85 and again was able to hit his full potential, a lot of green stats there, and looks like a very solid left back indeed. Danny Rose is sadly now on the decline, still 82 rated, but yeah, he is declining. His crossing, his sprint speed and his balance have all gone down. He made 16 appearances, got a 6.8 average, not too bad, decent backup, and he's still fairly solid. Eric Dyer, 85 rated at the age of 27, which is his full potential, so yeah, did quite well for himself. 53 appearances in this 5th season, 6.6 average rating, and he's still improving. Victor Wanyama is still holding firm at an 82 at the age of 29. Some very nice physicals, decent technicals as well. 40 appearances, 6.7 average rating. Lamela scored 8 goals in 24 appearances, hit his full potential of 85, and again he's a very solid player. While Sissoko is now on the decline, down to a 77 rating, and only made 7 appearances in this 5th season. Bentaleb has potential of 85, but he was able to get up to an 87, and that is absolutely cracking. Only got a 6.4 average, which is pretty disappointing, but stats look very good, and the fact that he was able to outgrow his potential is absolutely brilliant. Heung-min Son is 83 rated at the age of 28, only made 9 appearances, and got a 6.7 average rating. Dele Alli was able to hit his full potential of 90, he scored 10 goals in 46 appearances, 6.7 average rating, and he's still improving. Whilst Halilovic was able to go beyond his potential of 89 and hit a 90 rating. 99 acceleration, 97 sprint speed, 96 agility, 93 balance, some very nice technical stats there as well, and he would be a very good player to use in the game. Sadly though, as it was only simulation, he got 4 goals and 4 assists in 37 appearances, which to be honest, for a player of that rating and ability, is quite pathetic, and he refused to sign a new contract, so his contract expires in 1 month. It doesn't really matter though, as this is only a 5 season simulation, so yeah, his contract may expire soon, and he was being a bit awkward about signing a new contract, but I'm not going any further with this save anyway, so it doesn't really matter. James Rodriguez got to a 91 rating, has potential of 92, so not quite able to hit that, but still a very good player. 11 goals, 10 assists, and again, amazing stats. Ericsson got to an 89 rating, has potential of 88, so was able to go beyond that, and once again, just look at those stats. Amazing physicals, very good technicals as well. 7 goals, 5 assists, and just as with Halilovic, bit disappointed with that, to be honest. If I was playing with him for myself, I would expect stats a lot better than that. But yeah, in simulation, you can't really control that. It's all down to the CPU, what they decide, and yeah, I had no input on that. So poor stats, but it's not my doing, it's the computer. Josh Onomah is 82 rated at the age of 24, has potential of 85, but he was able to go up by 11 ratings in 5 seasons, and without player training, that's not too bad at all. Gareth Bale is a player that I brought back to the club for this 5th and final season. Thought he might like to see out his career at White Hart Lane, so yeah, unfortunately he is on the decline, but still 86 rated, still very good, and he scored 8 goals in 36 appearances. Harry Kane was able to hit his full potential of 90, 21 goals in 57 appearances, very good player, and I would love to use him in the game at full potential. Vincent Janssen is also pretty decent, 84 rated at the age of 26, has 89 finishing, some fairly alright physicals, didn't score at all though in 14 appearances. Finally then, we got Philippe Coutinho. I traded him for Neuer. I didn't really want Neuer, but Hugo Lloris decided that he wanted to leave the club, and obviously I needed to bring in a fantastic keeper to replace him, so Neuer was brought in and ultimately moved on to Juventus in place of Philippe Coutinho. Fantastic player, 21 goals, 10 assists in 52 appearances, and yeah, just look at those stats. And if I was personally playing with this team in career mode, this is how I'd line the team up. With Harry Kane playing at striker, James Rodriguez in behind him at cam, Coutinho and Halilovic playing down the wings, Bentaleb and Dele Alli operating through the middle, Rodriguez, Dyer, Alderweireld and Bale at the back, with Hugo Lloris in goal. Now, you may feel that Bale at right back is a curious choice, but he did start his Spurs career as a left back, and now that he's getting older, his pace is on the decline, and I feel that he could once again operate as a fullback. I've used him as a fullback in career mode in the past, and very much liked him there, to be honest. So yeah, if I was playing with this team, I'd use Gareth Bale as a fullback, and I feel that he'd do a very good job. Also, we've got a solid bench as well with Rose, Eriksen, Lamela, Walker, Pickford, Janssen and Lindelof, and some decent reserves as well. Not many reserves, but good players nonetheless. And these are all of the players that moved on throughout the 5 seasons. Harry Voss is now playing for Galway United, Luke McGee's at Rotherham, Worm's at Oldham, Neuer is at Juventus. As I said before, Lloris became unhappy and I had to bring in a new keeper to replace him, so Neuer played for Tottenham for a few years, now at Juventus, down to a 90 rating, and he's 35 years old. Walker Peters no longer has a club, Magoma is at Grimsby, Fazio's at Goiás, Carter Vickers doesn't have a team either, Vertonghen is now at Atletico Madrid, 80 rated at the age of 34, Ogilvy is another player that doesn't have a club, Ben Davies is at Wolfsburg, Anton Walkes is at Morecambe, Amos is a free agent, Moussa Dembele is at Bayern and is now down to a 75 rating, Tom Carroll's at Norwich, Harry Winks is at Crystal Palace, and Kudu's at Las Palmas. William Miller doesn't have a club, nor does Marcus Edwards or Shayon Harrison. Belotti is at Arsenal, signed him in the first couple of seasons and he didn't really get game time. As it's simulation, obviously I don't control the team and he wasn't getting picked, so I moved him on and he's now at Arsenal. Whilst Unyi now plays for Middlesbrough. And I'll now be taking a look at what the Spurs team was able to accomplish in these 5 seasons of simulation. In the first season, they were expected to finish in the top 4, reach the FA Cup final, and also get to the Champions League quarter-final. They weren't able to get to the Champions League quarter-final, they got knocked out of the last 16. They did reach the FA Cup final though, and finished in the top 4. They ultimately finished second in the league, behind Manchester United. Manchester United also won the FA Cup as they beat Spurs 4-3 on penalties in the final, and Manchester United also won the League Cup, beating Arsenal 3-2. In the Champions League, Bayern beat Dortmund 3-0 in the final, and over in the Europa League, Manchester United were able to get to another final. This time though, they were beaten by Napoli 4-3 on penalties. Eriksen was the best player for Spurs, scoring 30 goals and providing 22 assists, whilst the top 4 consisted of United on 75 points, Spurs on 73, Arsenal on 66, and Stoke on 63 points. And in the second season, the Spurs board now expected the team to do the domestic double and win the league and the FA Cup, and also reach the Champions League final. They were able to do that domestic double as they won the FA Cup and the Premier League, but in the Champions League, they got knocked out at the quarter-final stage. Spurs, as I said before, won the FA Cup and the league. They beat Arsenal 2-1 in the FA Cup final. Man City won the League Cup as they beat Newcastle 3-1 in the final. Bayern won the Champions League, beating Lyon 2-0 in the final. And over in Europa League, Man City beat Sporting 3-1 in the final. Harry Kane was the best player in this season for Spurs, scoring 23 goals and providing 10 assists. And the top 4 consisted of Spurs on 84 points, Chelsea on 75, Crystal Palace on 74 and Leicester on 69. And in the third season, the board now expected Spurs to win the treble, but they just missed out on the FA Cup final and the Champions League final as they got knocked out of the semi-final stage in both competitions. They did win the league title though, which was awesome. In the FA Cup, Chelsea went on to beat West Brom 4-0 in the final. In the League Cup, Arsenal beat Everton 2-1 in the final. And in the Champions League, Inter won it as they beat Barcelona 2-1 in the final. The Europa League was won by Roma as they beat Juventus 1-0. Eriksen was the best player with 27 goals and 10 assists. And it was a very interesting top 4. I'll show it to you right now on the screen. All of the teams in the top 4 finished on 71 points. I've never seen anything like it. And in the fourth season, the board once again expected Spurs to win the treble, and they kind of delivered that. They won the league, the Champions League and the League Cup, but of course the board did want them to win the FA Cup, and that didn't happen. Chelsea won the FA Cup as they beat Southampton 2-0 in the final. Spurs beat Manchester City 4-3 on penalties in the League Cup final. They won the Champions League as they beat Roma 2-0 in the final. And over in the Europa League, Valencia beat Bayer Leverkusen 2-1 in the final. Harry Kane finished with 24 goals. Eriksen and Dele Alli both got 9 assists. And in terms of the top 4, it consisted of Spurs on 78 points, Manchester United on 68, Arsenal on 65, and Manchester City also on 65 points. And as we move forward into the 5th season, Spurs won their 4th consecutive Premier League title. Manchester United weren't far behind as they finished on 83 points, Arsenal were 3rd with 70, and in 4th place were Leicester City with 69 points. Philippe Coutinho scored the most goals in the Premier League, Deulofeu got the most assists, and De Gea kept the most clean sheets. Whilst in the FA Cup, Spurs were knocked out by Manchester United, and Stoke City ultimately went on to win the whole thing, with Spence scoring the most goals, Bojan, Nemeth and Lavery all providing 3 assists, and Szczesny and Kritschuk both keeping 3 clean sheets. The mighty Oxford United beat Spurs in the League Cup, and Liverpool ultimately beat Arsenal 3-2 in the final. Roberto Firmino was the top goal scorer in the League Cup. O'Brien and Hemmings both provided 3 assists, and multiple keepers kept 2 clean sheets. And in the Champions League, Spurs were knocked out by the ultimate champions, Atletico Madrid. Timo Werner was the top goal scorer in the Champions League, Hassan provided the most assists, and Asenio was the best goalkeeper. Whilst over in the Europa League, Barcelona are now playing in that tournament, and they beat Napoli 3-1 in the final. Insigne absolutely smashed it in the Europa League with 13 goals, Milik got 6 assists, and Baumann, Roth and Blanco all kept 5 clean sheets. So I'll finish off the video there. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to vote for the next team that I do in the poll in the top right hand corner of your screen, and I'll catch you again next time.